Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's video. This week I'm turning a maple bow blank that I picked up at Rockler. It's 3.5 by 6, and in this project we're going to learn what to do when things go wrong in wood turning. And don't forget to watch until the end. I am announcing the winner of last week's video. The winner will get a small kit of the Axe wood turning paste. So using a worm screw here, making sure it's tight, have the tailstock up and starting to turn, starting off with the bowl gouge. So the plan I had going into this project was very different than how it ended up because something went wrong in the middle. So make sure to watch and you'll see how I made a recovery, and you can judge how good or not good it is. And one of the reasons I chose this blank for this project is because the grain is sort of boring. This is coated as an A. It goes from A, double A to triple A, with triple A being the best grain and a little bit more expensive. And so this was a single A. And I usually don't turn a lot of these ones, but occasionally I do when I want to put something on the outside to cover up the grain. Not that the grain isn't unique in and of itself, and it would have been fine with nothing on it at all. It just wasn't overly interesting. So using a tenon, so I can turn the tenon off at the end and have a flat bottom. The bowl was on the smaller side, and when I turn smaller bowls, I'd like to have a flat bottom, so I use a tenon. Larger bowls, I like to use a foot and a mortise. Now for sanding, I sanded from 80 all the way up to 320, which is probably a little overkill considering I was going to put something on the outside of the bowl to cover the grain, but taping the tenon so it stays clean and I can remount it. And using some matte black paint to give the outside one color. And you'll see the intention here in a couple of minutes. After that dried, taking it off the worm screw. And pouring some resin here. I'm using the Total Boat medium. 2-to-1 mix. Not mixing up a whole lot, but I'm going to put it into some different cups to be able to get some different colors. This is Coral, Blue, Blue Galaxy, Pure White, and a yellowish gold. So after getting these mixed up and mixed well, I'm doing a pour of resin over the bowl, starting with white, using a paint pouring strainer. Now this worked okay. There are some things that I would do differently if I did this again. This doesn't end up being the finish, so I didn't really get a shot of the outside of it, but you'll see why this one didn't work. Well, it worked. I shouldn't say it didn't work, but when things go wrong, you have to change gears, I guess. So hollowing out the inside of the bowl, nothing too exciting here, just using the bowl gouge. I'll put links to everything I use in the video description as usual. Switching tool rests. This is a robust, round, or curved tool rest. So coming up in a minute, you're going to see it mounted back on the lathe with it hollowed out, and you're going to see a crack in it. That's because this bowl, unfortunately I didn't get it on film, but this bowl completely split in half. You'll see the line here in a minute. See that crack? Completely split in half. And see it there. Well, I guess it shouldn't say it split in half, but that piece completely came off. It didn't just crack and whatever, it came off. And I used some super glue, an accelerator to get it back on and go to plan B, which at this point I really didn't know what it was going to be yet. So I was finishing the inside, and as usual I'm using some axe. Use discount code PF10 at checkout, axewoodpaste.com. So this is me switching gears. Instead of resin, I'm going to use the cling wrap method to put a finish on the outside. And I needed a finish that was going to hide that large crack, because even as well as I glued it back on there, it wasn't perfect. So it's not like I could just paint the outside one color. I needed to do something that had some texture. So this is what I came up with. I did another cling wrap bowl, gosh, I guess it's been maybe close to a year ago. So this is the first one I've done since then. It's always fun to do, at least in my opinion. I know some people get really mad at covering up any wood grain, but I like the contrast of the outside being painted and textured and the inside being smooth and natural. Putting on the jumbo jaws to take off the tenon. So if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. There's a link in the bottom right hand corner of the video, the screen. It really helps my channel grow, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It lets YouTube know that people are watching and enjoying, and it helps get my videos in front of more people. Here is my logo with the branding iron, a link to that as well in the video description. Putting some sanding sealer on the bottom, and then I will use the axe abrasive and then the axe polishing paste, and I will put some photos up at the end of the final project. So thank you so much for watching. Don't go anywhere yet, because the winner is going to be announced in just a moment, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. Until next week, peace out.